Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to make this one quick because I have got to be out of here by 9. And it's 7:43 right now. So I've got to do scans. 22. There we go. Yeah, it's live. Okay. Let's go over to YouTube and we're going to monetize this mofo. Hit the thumbs up button. Let's see. Live. I should be more professional and do this during a countdown, but oh well. I'm not professional. Let's see. We're going to go to FinViz, not FinViz, Seeking Alpha. Key inflation data report. Berkshire Hathaway. Oh, I should mention that. More Oxy. Let's put that in. Berkshire. Oxy. Boom, boom. Put that in. Let's see. Top news as well. ANSYS ASML 300 lithograph system to Intel. These are the biggest stock movers of the day. Let's see. RKLB, NKE, NTES. Let's see. TCEHY, TCTCF. What? Wow. Okay, we're going to get going here. What I do want to do is do a 4-hour. Let's see if I can do a yearly of QQQ. And maybe not a raindrop. I mean, this is definitely interesting. And look at since 2009. I mean, just green candles. 2018, you closed lower than you. Let's just let's put in this yearly chart of QQQ since 1999. Okay. We're going to do this. Boom, boom. And we're going to put this over here. And I'm going to get started with the damn podcast because do a yearly chart of QQQ. Boom. We got that. Okay. Okay, now we're going to run the 4 hour. Wah, wah, wah. And we're going to pull this back. Futures are down. Okay. There's somebody else in here. I got two thumbs up buttons. Let's see. Okay, we're going to go from the back to the front. Oh, I got to do scans. Let's do scans first. Market scanner. Oh, come on. What you doing, boy? Market scanner, and we'll go down here. I already did the newsletter, or the welcome letter last night as well. Let's see. Anything there? Nope. Covered call ETFs. Nope. Energy names. Nope. Levered ETFs. SMDD, TBT. This is the Treasury ultra short of the bonds. Might be an interesting play, but it's got no confirmation whatsoever. So, low cost Vanguard, Spider, not owned, BITW. I like that one. This is the social media. I mean, that's been a rocket. C Limited doesn't have confirmation. I'm gonna move back to my traditional bars. Okay, we're not gonna do no own. We're gonna do the Dow. AMZN. I like AMZN. We're gonna go to NASDAQ. Yeah, so you know at 9 o'clock I've got to leave to go to CTAS Cintas. Get tires for my dad's car. And let's go to S&P. And AMZN's the only one. Okay. So we've got all that done. I am sorry if you are tuning in late. Because I started super early. But we do have inflation data at 8:30. Be gone already. Let's move down and okay, there's the boom. There's things. Social request. Mara continues to run. NAT. Nike drops. Let's go to my Twitter on another one. Profile. Oh, what was that? AMC's predicts the A. Oh, okay. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, we'll look at that one. We'll look at Twitter again. Because Kathy Woods bought a ton of Tesla yesterday. She's doing that. PanW under 300, Adobe Creative Cloud. Boyle did really well. Okay. We'll bring this up. That's a great one. We're going to bring this up. Okay, we're going to close that. One Berkshire bought Oxy. And biggest movers of the day. There we go. Okay. Let's get the Qs. Let's get my link tree up. And we'll put this back here. Okay. I am going to start the podcast, even though there's nobody in here. Yeah, I got the date and everything right. Okay. Good morning. It is Friday, December 22nd, and I'm up early. It's about 7:50, 7:45. I think I started this one because I've got to be somewhere at 9 o'clock. So I am sorry for all the YouTube livers who usually join me in the morning, but I am not there. What I'm going to do on this one is kind of go over Apple a little bit. I know I started with Tesla the other day, but I'll go over what I know about Apple on the charts. Obviously, they have the Vision Pro coming out. They stopped the watch sales last night. So where can you expect it to go? We'll look at that. But what I wanted to start out with is just a couple of things. First off, let's go over here. Biggest stock movers of the day. Rocket Mortgage, Rocket Labs, NetEase, Nike, and more. Rocket Labs up 19%, RKLB. Nike down. We'll talk about that one because I did buy Nike, unfortunately. Shares of Tencent with the Chinese move on curbing gaming. Then you've got Berkshire Hathaway buying more Oxy. And if we look at Oxy, Oxy is, let's take a look at it in the, it is up at 60. It's up 0.74. Like I said, if you buy it under 60, you can sell it over 60. I think that still kind of exists. Okay, hold on. Morning, Q-Tip. Hold on. Okay, do you want to go downstairs? Hey. Oh, I had to let the dogs downstairs. They heard my parents. So, yeah. Oxy. Let me see where I was at. Berkshire bought my Hathaway. Okay, there we go. So I still own Oxy. I haven't sold it. It's one of the few energy names that I still own. I own Oxy. I own Devon. Couldn't get myself to sell it during this strength. So I will look at selling it probably a little bit later, but they just bought a ton of it. I think they own 28% now. Yeah. They upped themselves to 28%. So I wanted to take a look at that. Let's look at this too. Ooh, hold on one second. Q-Tip, for some reason, I just ran upstairs and now I'm out of breath. This could be somebody having a heart attack on air. Just out of breath for some reason. God, that doesn't happen from running up and down the stairs. Okay. Let me delete the last one. Let's see. Let's move this. Do 756. There we go. Move to trash. We'll move that because I don't need that last one where I got out of. Okay, we're gonna move this over here. We're going to go grab OBS. And I think, does this move? I don't know. Yeah, I guess that moves when I move it. Okay, we're going to move that over there. Okay. We're going to move our notes. I hope I don't. I had the flu a couple weeks ago. I was sick. Okay. Here we go. So Oxy, I think over 60, sell it. Under 60, you can hold it. But Berkshire owns now 28% of Oxy. One thing that I wanted to do that was interesting, and I will put this in the newsletter, is a yearly candlestick of QQQ going back to 1999. I think it goes back to 2000, 1999. So this is QQQ. Notice how many candles are green. And if you didn't know what a green candle is, go and look it up. But it basically means that it closed higher than it opened. So you can see how many candles over since 1999 we've closed green at. And we're at green now. You can see we're kind of capitulating, but we still have confirmation, and confirmation is coming up on this. One other thing I wanted to show off was Evan, S&P SPY performance each year since 1994, and you can see green. Yes, last year we had an 18.2% pullback. This year so far we're at 26.1. Interesting stats there. I liked it. I wanted to put it again. If you're not following me on Twitter, then you probably should, because I retweet this kind of stuff a lot. SMCI, I will look at in the newsletter. I will put a chart of SMCI in the newsletter. I think this one's interesting. It seems to be putting a nice little capitulation here at about 300. Is it going to go for that next leg up to 350? I'll put a little chart in there because you can see the MACD's crossing down, but the RSI is down in 58, so it's come down a little bit. I think we see some capitulation with the MACD coming down. That's just my take on it. But I'm not selling. I am not buying. I will buy a little bit more in a little bit. Boyle yesterday was on a roll. I think it was up like 10%. It's up a little bit. You can see Boyle now has confirmation, so that 25.71, you're at 28.20. You have 25.71. You could have sold here at 29, bought back at 25 if you wanted to. If you just listened to the algorithm, you'd be doing fine right now. So natural gas, you do have to know about natural gas is that Europe and the U.S., natural gas is just cheap. And Europe has plenty of storage. So even if Putin were to cut it off again, like he did a few years ago with the start, or maybe it was last year with the start of the Ukraine war, Europe would be fine. But if they get a cold winter, there could be problems. I'm not convinced that it's a great play right now. Boyle, KOLD has just been the winner. I am convinced, there's two stocks that I am convinced that next year might be part of the Great Eight if they do what they say they will. The first one is AMD. AMD is in competition with NVIDIA for AI chips. They just released their new chip. I don't think that AMD is going to beat NVIDIA, but you can see their all-time highs here around 150, 160 in that neighborhood back here in 2021, November 2021. It's a solid company. The PE is not crazy, comparatively speaking. The PE is 1,003, but the forward PE is 38. That's, the PE is a little bit wacky for some reason here on FinViz with AMD. NVIDIA is, 64 PE, 23 is the forward PE. Right now, comparatively speaking, SMCI is a PE of 28 with a forward PE of 17. But AMD with their new chip, they don't have to they don't have to beat NVIDIA. They just have to compete with NVIDIA. And so I think in the new year, this one becomes a little bit more favored. And the reason is because I think AMD has shown they can't make their chips fast enough. So if AMD can make their chips and somebody's trying to decide, I can wait a year and a half for an NVIDIA chip, or I can install an AMD chip in the next 2 months and get a little leg up. That's why I think AMD might have some opportunities there, because if they do go with AMD, I know several data centers like Amazon and Google and Microsoft, they've said NVIDIA and AMD. They will install both. So I think that's one that you want to keep an eye on. I think it's an opportunity right there. The other one that I think you have an opportunity with is Adobe. And we don't talk about Adobe much because I don't use Adobe. I use Apple products. I haven't used the Creative Cloud. But this company is just killing it. If we take a look at a weekly chart on this one, it is expensive. Their all-time highs are up near 700. I don't know if they ever got to set. I think they rejected off of 700. But you can see back here in July of 2021, it's 700. They're trading at 600 right now. And I've said anything under 600, I thought you could buy absolutely on this one. It is still expensive. Understand the PE is 50, the forward PE is 29. It is up 78% this year. But with AI being a focus, and I'm seeing all of these people doing AI video and AI photos, Adobe's the leader in this. Adobe's Creative Cloud is just so good. So I think those two are pretty good opportunities in the new year. I think PanW right now is under 300. You're seeing the button hook right now. If you've got PanW, might be time to take some profits if you wanted to. I will be adding more PanW as it tells me to, as the algorithm tells me to. I am not getting rid of my position. PanW and CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike is one that I want to get back into. I sold CrowdStrike at 248. It's at 257 right now. I'm seeing the same kind of button hook here. The algorithm still has you in. The MACD is super high. The RSI is high. So maybe we're just seeing a cool-off period here. Here is a good one to go in my newsletter today. I tweeted this out last night. Kathy Wood and ARK Invest bought 111,000 shares of Tesla yesterday. And understand this is not something that, oh my God, she bought a ton of Tesla, I've got to load in. The potential golden cross, we had the golden cross yesterday on the 4-hour. The MACD is starting to cross down, but the RSI is at 56. She's just buying a ton of shares. Understand the only reason that she sells shares is because it becomes such a large position in her funds, she's got to sell shares. So when she buys shares, she buys them on the dip. Is 250 the dip? She believes so. So, keep an eye on that. She is one of the largest Tesla shareholders. She did a Spaces with Elon yesterday. I thought it was kind of interesting. I tweeted out last night, I bought 10 shares in Nike at 122. I mean, listen, that's only $1,000. It's not a big position. I decided to start a position in Nike. I had said in my paid newsletter that I would. In pre-market, you're down 11% at 108. I think you get down to this 105. Do I think you're getting down to the 90s again? I think you're going to use this 200-day as support. It's going to gap down big. What do we see in good companies that gap down big? We see a recovery and a fill of that gap. So I think at 105, you start to get interested in this one. They did say, and the earnings, the problem with this one is that they say margins and earnings per share, they did top estimates, but a soft quarter in North America dragged down the revenue to below the consensus expectation. And they said going forward, they do see a soft quarter. That's temporary. I think they've gotten things back in order. I think they've gotten their inventories back in order. The gross margin increased 140 basis points. Plus, they announced a $2 billion cost savings. So I think this is one that for long term, I have no problem holding it up here at 122. I will dollar cost average my way in, but I will be buying more of this stock. I think it comes back. I think it fills that gap. NAT, which is the North American tankers, This is a company that it's going, with the Red Sea and the war going on. I saw the CEO last night. It's soared over the past 2 weeks. It's up 14%. They have one vehicle that's in the Red Sea right now, and it's being protected by the U.S. The CEO was pretty confident that they could raise shipping rates. That's an interesting one. I mean, again, the algorithm got you in on December 11th at $3.88. You're up 15% right now. In pre-market, it is up 1%. That one I just wanted to bring up because keep an eye on shippers. Mara is up 5% in pre-market. Just wanted to bring that up. Keep your eye on crypto. I do think that we go all the way until January where this one just continues to rise. Remember, this is an $80 stock. If we look at this one, it was 72. So I don't think it ever made it to 80, but it's in the 70s. And you're trading at 24 right now. That's 3 times where you're at right now. So understand it could go parabolic and it could go up there. I have not bought it. I bought TQQQ yesterday and I bought Nike. And earlier this week, I bought Palantir. Now, let's look at Apple, because Apple stock is one that is kind of, I read a stat yesterday. They haven't really invented, they haven't changed anything. They haven't put out anything new other than, iterations of old things since really 2018, I think it was. So I don't remember the year, but this one, volume shelf starting to form. 4-hour algorithm gets you in with a 30% over the past 24 months. With 27 positions, whereas if you just bought and held, right now the 4-hour algorithm makes you 28%. And this is an old note, but right now the algorithm makes you 28% over 24 months. If you just bought and held, you're up 10%. I don't suggest that you sell this one and trade it, but the volatility that we've seen in this particular name has been tradable over the last year. And you can see that rise up from, I think it was, let's see. We're going to do a little bit more. This was all the way from March. In January, it was at like 120. This only goes down to 140. The buy here at 153. And it went March till August. And it got you out with a 20% gain. You could have gotten out with significantly more if you got out close to the 200 mark. But this one is just a name. In my mind, I just kind of hold it. I trade it. The only time I trade this one is really when it gets close to 200. And when I trade and trim, it's like 1 or 2 shares. It's not a ton. The majority of my Apple is held in my portfolio, in my brokerage portfolio. If we look at a long term and we go to a weekly on this one, you can see all the way back. It doesn't matter which long-term chart you do. This one has just been we can go to a monthly and it's been a monster. And when you get the Bollinger Band syncing up like this, you can just continue to go. You can see the MACD over the past couple months has been crossing up. I think here's my take on Apple. I don't think that you sell this one unless you need some type of cash or you want to reallocate it. You guys know, I think it's 50% of my portfolio, 45, somewhere in that neighborhood, is Apple. I consider it my savings account. I buy on the dips, and I just pour it over. And there was a good explanation yesterday from one of the traders that I was watching or listening to, I forget. But I remember hearing this statement. Over the past 2 years, when we've seen pullbacks, Apple has been the place where people basically pull back. They pull their cash out of riskier investments and they put it into Apple. And that's been one of the reasons why Apple has just gone along with the market. And next year, if we start to see pullbacks, you could see a lot of money go back into Apple and that the stock market be propped up because the stock is so large. It is one that I think, you should have in your portfolio at the very least. At the very most, I think you should have, at least 5% of your portfolio in Apple. I just think that they make so much money on so many things. And I am fully in the ecosystem. Right now, I have an Apple Watch on. I'm looking at my iPhone over here. I'm doing this on an MacBook Pro. I have the iPad Pro over here. And I have AirPods next to me. So I do have Bose headphones. I don't have the AirPods Max, just because, God, I'm not paying $500 for headphones. But Apple, solid gainer. I just, again, if you want to trade it, the algorithm here in TrendSpider, it's a solid performer, 28%. There are several strategies for Apple that I have that I could share with you. One of them is with Jason Krutsky, Apple's favorite SMA. And we can look at it. I think this one's on a 1 hour, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a 1 hour. And it's quite an interesting take on it. I think we did this at Thanksgiving. Here's the thing. This goes back 4 years, okay? 4 years. It's on a 1 hour candle. So you trade, let's see, 552 positions over 4 years. Now, you're in right now, but there's 1 hour candles. And the strategy makes you 700%. Now, 4 years ago, if you bought and just held, it makes you 167%. It is 7 times what buying and holding is. Yeah, it's crazy. But this strategy, if you want it, I'll put it out there. I do have a video of Jason and I doing it, but I'll put it in the newsletter today. If you are not signed up for TrendSpider and you don't want to make the 700%, don't worry about it. But if you do, TrendSpider right here. The offer, I think it ends today. Let's go to the pricing real quick. Let's see what we have. It is, yes, $397. It is extended bonus offer, upgrade your thing. Yeah, $397 for the year. You skip the 7-day trial. So if you want TrendSpider and you want that algorithm, I will put it in the newsletter. I will put the algorithm in the newsletter so that you can see it, so that you can play with it. Jason, again, created that one. It's a fantastic algorithm that he has. Let's go back to the 4 hour, which is mine, which you get with TrendSpider as well. Let's look at social requests. Who do you like better, LAZR or INVZ? Let's see. LAZR is Luminar. This is the company that does the LAZR. They do the 360 stuff that's on self-driving vehicles. They're losing money. Income minus 567. It's down 33% this year. They have, let's see, cash 0.81. Let's see. What's 270 million times 0.81?
It's 218 million.
Yeah, they have 218 million. They're going to need to dilute at some point. The average share price target is 851 and it's trading at 331. I think I told Travis on Facebook, I don't know anything about these companies. So I'm going to look at the charts right now. So if you're looking long term, I would say throw your money in a little bit of both if you wanted to. It's a SPAC. I mean, this went public on a SPAC. I am anti-SPAC, but LAZR, it's got no confirmation in the long term. I don't know if anything's coming up to catalyze it to go up. You can see they're selling. There were some buys by the chairperson, Austin Russell, who I've seen interviewed. He's been buying a bunch, but that was way back in May at $6. Some people have sold at $5. Some people have sold at $7. Not huge amounts, but you can see it just hasn't worked out. Let's look at INVZ. Well, let's look at LAZR and trend in Seeking Alpha. LAZR. We're gonna get rid of lazy LAZR. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a huge buy, but is it high risk of performing badly? Quant has it as a strong sell. I mean, Seeking Alpha's quant has been super accurate. When they say a strong sell, now Wall Street and Seeking Alpha analysts say buy, and those are probably pretty strong indications. Bid to buy Forbes falls apart. Polestar Automotive adds Luminar and Mobileye autonomous driving features. You're really betting that this is going to make money in the future, and so that's what you're betting on. But with a SPAC, I'd rather buy this when it's rather than buying at 3, buy it on the way up when it's 6 and it's going to 20. I mean, This one went all the way up to what, $60, $40, yeah, 47 back in December 2020. I'm not a huge fan. INVZ. Let's look at INVZ. Invis. And again, Travis, I'm not going to know anything about the fundamentals of this company, but INVZ, this one looks more bullish to me. Looks like it probably could get to that 312 gap fill. The MACD's crossing down. You're seeing that button hook when you got it. Looks like December 8th at $1.79. You're at $2.59 right now. Solid mover on volume. You can see the volume just take off. I don't know what the news was, but INVZ, let's look at it in FinViz. $427 million market cap. They're losing $127 million, so they're losing significantly less. They also have more cash on hand compared to their losses, so they probably won't have to dilute. Performance year to date, they're down 34%. Average target price is $7.40. They're trading at $2.59. I don't think this was a SPAC. Let's look at a long term of this one. I don't think it was a SPAC. At least it doesn't look like it was a SPAC. Now, probably wasn't a SPAC because it looks like it opened up here at about, maybe it was a SPAC and just completely went down. But, yeah, INVZ, let's look at some of the target initiated coverage with a $5 price target. No insider sales. It's all LiDAR stuff. Let's look at INVZ here. Let's see what the insiders say. INVZ. Why is it not pulling up? INVZ symbols. There we go. INVZ. Quant is a hold. I like INVZ better. If you ask me which one of the two, INVZ just seems to be more solid. The LICR just looks like it's a little bit more risky. So I'd say if you force me into it, I wouldn't invest in either one. They're losing money. I think there's better places to put your money. Dex from Spotify wants me to look at Lennar, LEN. Lennar has had a crazy good year. I mean, no joke, even just this October, look at this. You're up, what, 40%? Let's see. This is up, 41% in 53 days. Housing is going to continue to go nuts. We have a shortage of houses in this country. With interest rates going down, you're going to see nothing but good news for these guys. Lennar is a significantly solid home builder. I like it. Do I like it here? You're at all-time highs. I mean, it's a little bit tough at all-time highs. You're 5% below your 52-week high, which, again, is your all-time high. Your PE is not horrible at 10 and 9. Your dividend, 1%. It's up 63% year to date. The average target price is $158. So you're really buying at a time where it's just run. Doesn't mean it's not going to continue to run because, again, home builders have just run like this. The problem that I have is buying at this peak. It's kind of like buying the Qs at all-time highs. Sure, it probably continues to go up, but I'd rather see it on a pullback get to this 50-day at about 112 or so than to see you buy in at 147, have it go to 156, and reject back down to 120. Patience is going to be key. Look at that RSI on a weekly. It's up at 73. Your MACD is just crossing up. This could get to 170. I think this is a company that you probably want to hold. So if we look at Lennar from a Seeking Alpha, you can see hold, buy, hold. It's a solid company. I can't say anything bad about it. The only thing I can say is it's run a little too much. I am Mr. Stud. That's a great name. From Spotify. Now, what do you mean by confirmation? He asked what I mean by confirmation. So let's just look at TQQQ, because I took a trade in TQQQ yesterday. And what do I mean by confirmation? There are different people that mean different things. I use a 9-day trend line. So on my charts, you'll see a green line. It's a 9-day. It's a 9-day EMA. I use that because it is under 2 weeks. If you think about the stock market, a week is 5 days, 5 trading days. So 9 days gets you under 2 weeks. So it's a short-term trend line. What I mean by confirmation, let's just go to a weekly on this one because you'll see it a little bit better. What I mean by confirmation is you're over that green line. So when you're over that green line, it means you can buy it because the trend is going to be up. That's confirmation that you're in an upward trend, a short-term upward trend. To see if you're in a long-term upward trend, you want to use that 200-day. If you use that 200-day as a long-term trend, you'll see if we just pull back TQQQ, you'll see as long as that 200 days is moving forward up, your stock is moving up. It may pull back, but as long as that long-term is going up, then you're probably fine buying it. We can look at one that goes down, which is GE. GE, if we go back monthly and we go to let's go back weekly. And we'll go back to weekly. Look, that 200 days moving down. What's the stock doing? It's moving down. Could go up, could spike up, but that's the long term. Again, the 50 days, the medium. When I say confirmation, I'm typically talking about short-term confirmation. So when we look at Apple and we go to the 4-hour here, you can see it's on top of the 9-day. That's confirmation. That is confirming to me that it's an upward trend, and I'm most likely going to make money when I buy it in an upward trend. If I'm shorting this stock, then I want to see, a downward trend. That's why, like TSLQ and the short stuff, when Tesla's going up, this one's gonna go down. So Tesla's been on a tear. See how TSLQ does? You want to make sure that you have confirmation. That's all I'm saying. When you have confirmation, it's a short-term, medium, or long-term. You just want to look at the moving averages to confirm that what you're doing or what you're buying is good. If it's not, get out. So confirmation just is a lingo. You can look it up on Investopedia if you want to look it up. But that's all I mean. There's nothing other than that. Hey, you have confirmation. It's above there. Like, for instance, a stock, let me look at my scans. TBT, which came up on the scans. This is the short treasury. This is the ultra short Lehman 20-year treasury. So when the treasury bill is going up, this one's going down. Well, it has a buy signal here in the algorithm at $30.20. Would I buy it? No. Reason is, look, it's below that 9-day. Doesn't have confirmation. So I want to confirm that this is moving in the direction. Look, if you bought it here at 34, you didn't have confirmation. You were slightly above it. You could have taken the chance. But the second you lost that confirmation, sell, because it's not done going down. Just like this one, 37.37, you didn't have confirmation, didn't get above there. You didn't want to buy. So, take a look at Apple. Apple down here at 171. It's just touching it, but in the next candle gets confirmation. Would have bought it here at 174. I think I did add it here at 174 in November. And it just continued up. Lost confirmation, but the algorithm didn't get you out. So I didn't try and take a trade here. TQQQ, I tried and take trades. But that's what I mean, Mr. Stud, by confirmation. RIP Austin asks CCJ and Kupang. Let's see CCJ. I think that's the, Cameco. This is the nuclear one. CCJ, you're out. I mean, algorithm got you out with a nice 14% gain. Doesn't have confirmation. MACD's pointing down. I would not take this trade right now. This has been a super, super runner, by the way. If we look at a weekly on this one, this is at an all-time high. It is, again, it's nuclear. You can see here, for years, this was in a downward trend. Nuclear's come back into focus. You can see the volatility that we see on the MACD right there. But this is in an upward trend. It's way above the 50-day. I think you're a little bit extended, but with nuclear kind of coming into play, this one might be a good one. It's expensive. And the only reason it's expensive is because people have been piling in here. 96 is the PE, 32. They are making money. They're up 92% year to date. 92%, even with that pullback, they're up 92%. Your 52-week, you're 7% below your 52-week high. I think you get back to 52-week highs, even with that extended thing. But understand right now that the algorithm does have you out. The algorithm, though, it underperforms. It's just probably a safety in this one. You're better off buying and holding. But this one, the algorithm makes you 43% over 24 positions. So it's over 24 months. You're buying basically once a month. I would probably wait until the algorithm tells me to buy again, because this gap down here at 37, probably just a little bit, a little bit of a magnet there. You can see that, but the volume shelf does have you up here at 40. So if we see it break down below 41, I think you're probably getting to this gap at 36, at maybe 39. I would wait for a 3-handle. Absolutely load up on that one in the 3-handle. Coupang, CPNJ. This is a software company. Let's see. They've had some pullbacks. They've had some problems here. Definitely looks like an opportunity, but it doesn't have confirmation. It's below it. 1562 is the buy-in. It is probably going to get you out very soon in the algorithm, just based on some of the moving averages that I see that are in the algorithm. Now, the algorithm works on this when you make 14%. You know what you get if you buy and hold this one over 2 years? You lost 47%. So it's a solid play in the algorithm. I think this one's just expensive, if I remember correctly. The PE 67, forward PE of 37. It's an internet retail, consumer cyclical. Let's see what they do. Operating e-commerce platform, operates through the product, commerce, and growth initiative segments. Let's see, any insider stuff. They're selling, not big. I mean, this one, 10% owner, sold at $15.39. That's probably what brought it down. No, in fact, it's at $16.19. Average target price is 21. I'd wait for this one. I'd wait for the algorithm to tell me to buy in. Let's see, scans. Most of them are short SMDD. We didn't have too much. SMDD has a 1369. But again, to the point, doesn't have confirmation. This is an ultra short of the mid cap 400. Right now, let's see. I'm just looking at inflation stuff to see if it's on the TV. But 1369 is the buy-in on SMDD. TBT we went over. A Bitcoin thing, BITW. This is Bitwise. This is 10 cryptos in one. It got you out here with an 82% gain. I mean, look at that gain. If we just look at this from, 82%. If you're holding this, you're up 94%. Do I think 24.3 is crazy? No. I mean, if we go to a long term on this one, you can see we're just crossing up on the 50-day. We don't even have a 200-day because this is a Bitwise 10 crypto index. When that Bitcoin ETF comes around, this is going to be huge. AMZN, one of the S&P 100s, AMZN. This was a drug company. I'm sorry about that. AMZN was a drug company that was big during the pandemic because of their big dividend. I think they were paying a huge dividend, if I remember correctly. It was like 5-6%. It's back down to 3%. It's up 6% this year. AMZN has a cross up here. It's right around it's a secondary cross up. The initial one was 264 right here. Their earnings are coming up in January 30th. Might be something you're interested in. And finally, Cintas, CTAS. This is one that, I mean, it's been a solid gainer. I mean, look at that 200-day continuing to run. They just reported earnings. This is another gap up, it looks like. In pre-market, it's at 589. I mean, this has been just, if we go to a weekly on this one was, look at that. I mean, Cintas, ever since 2020, you were trading at 168. You're at 569 right now. Take a look at this. If you time this in March of 2020 and you're up there, you're up 253% over 3 years. Now, typically, 10% a year, so 30% would be a great historic time frame. That's 253% over 3 years, 8 months. That's just crazy. Okay, it is a short day, so here's the link tree. The link is down below, liktr.ee/daily stock pick. You got TrendSpider, which is going on with a sale right now. It is $400, $397.80. I give you my algorithm. I send you a welcome letter. I just redid the welcome letter. So last night, I include a couple of things in the welcome letter that he didn't before. So if you're one of the TrendSpider people that I sent that is on my program and you want the newsletter, it's nothing that not links or anything. The only thing that I included was a couple of videos from Zip Trader, just to get you started on kind of candlestick patterns. I had a lot of people who weren't used to charting who kind of got into it. I will say, you know, it's a little bit overwhelming, and that was part of what I wrote in the welcome letter is TrendSpider is a little overwhelming when you get it. The good part is when you get it through me, I give you all of these things to import. So it's not like starting off with a blank slate, but you do have to work at it. And you know, I try and tell people, go to my YouTube channel at Daily Stock Pick, and there's a video right up here. You'll see a video. If I wasn't live, you would see it. But it's with David Yoakum from TrendSpider. It is the best video that I can say. It's about an hour long. It will help you set up your screen the way that I see it, the whole thing. But yeah, the link tree has everything. It has $50 off of Seeking Alpha. I use Seeking Alpha. I'm rebalancing my portfolio for year end right now. I was sitting with my dad last night. We were looking at Seeking Alpha. It is just the best website for all of the news and stuff like that. I love importing my portfolio, everything of that sort. You can just go home. You can read all these articles. I mean, for $180, it's a one-stop shop. That's what I really like about it. And the comment section on some of these analysis. If you geek out on stocks, you will geek out on the comment section. It is so good. It's not like a typical social media where there's douches. They will get rid of you if you are a douche. Dick's Sporting Goods is up. Let's see. Where's Dick's Sporting Goods? Dick's Sporting Goods down 6%. Retail shocker. Nike warns. It's on the thing. Yeah, see, you can read all these art. I mean, it's just what I like about it is the $180 that I pay. It's just I shouldn't say I'm an affiliate, so I get it for free. But I'd totally pay for it. If they yank away my my affiliate thing, I'm a paying customer at that point. Because it is a one-stop shop. Okay, I will have the paid newsletter tomorrow. I don't know what the topic's going to be, but I'll include probably my Nike buy, things of that sort. Most of the newsletter is free. Most of what I do here is free, but the newsletter is free. There is a paid section where I kind of go over personal stuff, things of that sort. Look, core PCE prices month over month. Yeah, I mean, just listen. Yeah, the negative just turned positive. So if you listened this far, good deal. Okay, I got to go because I got to go get tires. Have a great weekend. Again, look for the paid newsletter. If you're not signed up to the newsletter, I have no idea why you're not signed up for the newsletter. It is the perfect complement to this. Again, if you're listening and you're learning, understand that the newsletter puts things into visual perspective. And a lot of stocks are not just, hey, somebody told me to buy. It's visual. You have to do charts. So, okay. Take care. Say it bye. Okay, I'd love to chart for you guys, but I got to get going. I started early, so I'll post the podcast a little bit later. And VRO, I appreciate SMFL. Let's see, what is SMFL up? Smart for Life. It's up 59% in pre-market. Holy crap. You called it, man. VRO, I hope you are taking profits at a 58% gain in pre-market. And I hope you can fill that order because we went over it yesterday. This has no shares out there. So I hope you get filled. It has 0.45 million shares. So 400,000 shares. I don't know who's selling it. I don't know who's buying it. I hope you get filled from your broker. Good. Because that chart is not something that I would put I'd rather put my money into Nike and lose 10%. Okay, I'm out of here. Take care.